This is MRN Out Loud, brought to you by Hercules Tires.
Hello again, everyone. I'm Woody Cain. This is the season finale for MRN Out Loud and my final show with the Motor Racing Network. We want to thank all the folks who've contributed along the way. More on that at the end. First, we're going to talk championships, specifically the 2021 Camping World Truck Series Championships with the guy who won it. Ben Rhodes is our guest, and he's up next.
Sir, are you aware you were going 40 miles an hour? This is a residential area.
Sure, but I'm on my lawnmower? Wait, am I getting a ticket?
No, I've just never seen anyone top 9 miles an hour on one of those bad boys. And mow their entire lawn in 30 seconds? What got into you?
Well, it did fuel up at Sunoco this morning.
At Sunoco, we know how to fuel peak performance. We've been doing it for American racing for over 50 years. Fuel your best.
Citywide to countryside, whatever you drive, wherever you go, Hercules has the value, selection, and industry-leading warranty to get you there no matter where the road takes you. Go to HerculesTires.com. There you can find the nearest authorized Hercules retail location to you. Plus, you can use the tire tracker to find out which Hercules tire fits your vehicle the best. That's HerculesTires.com. Hercules Tires, ride on our strength.
We're joined now by the 2021 Camping World Truck Series champion, Ben Rhodes. And I see that still makes a smile come onto your face, and it will for quite some time. He drives the number 99 Toyota Tundras for Thor Sport Racing. And Ben, you started off this season like gangbusters, man, winning the first couple right out of the gate, and then did what you had to do to get that championship. But that's kind of the system we operate under now, right?
Well, it is so hard to make it to the championship for Woody. This is my first time ever doing it. I could never get there. You have to race really smart nowadays, and not saying that you didn't have to before. I mean, that's what being a champion is all about, is you have to race smart all season long. And it's just really difficult. And you have a lot more that you have to leave to chance at times in the playoff format because, well, there's a lot out of your control, and there's only a few races that dictate your whole season. So you have to really be on it when it matters, and you have to have a little bit of luck on your side, but also have to be just really, really consistent, just like the old style format. It's creates moments of excitement, but you still have to operate with a championship mindset.
Yeah, I'm always such a fan. I remember years of wishing we would get to that final race with 4 or 5 guys having a legitimate shot at it. And now we get that every year. No more champion being decided, 3 races or something before the end of the season. And man, that's exciting to have 4 drivers every time with a legitimate shot at a championship.
Well, and I think the biggest, feather in the cap for the playoff format is the fact that pretty much every series, the final 4 that are in the series are, trucks or cars that have ran well and, should be competing for a championship. It's not like they just kind of weaseled their way into it the last time. They were consistent all year, and they had speed all year, and they were people to talk about all year. Right. And that's the cool part for me. Like, just getting to the championship 4 was so difficult, but the people that I'm surrounded with that I got to compete against, it's big competition, so it's not easy. It's not easy to get there. And it just gets tougher and tougher as you get deeper and deeper into the playoff format.
You said after the race that might have been the hardest you've driven the final 40 laps. Why, and how did it get to that position? I mean, you knew kind of in your head, I guess, and the team was telling you the math and where you needed to be and all that. But tell me why that was such a challenging final 40.
Well, so Zane Smith just drove past me for the final stage. And he was the one truck that was in front of me that I really didn't need. I mean, he was the truck that had to race for the drivers championship and owners championship. So if the 38 was in front of me, that would have been just the owners championship. And I would have said, okay, really don't like this, but at least I got something. I'm behind Zane and I got nothing. So
it's like the old game show. We have a lovely parting gift for you.
Yeah. I was like, come on, you gotta be kidding me. We led the whole race ahead of the other championship drivers. I didn't lead any laps of the race, but I was in front of the other championship drivers the whole time, running in the top 5 the whole race. And all of a sudden, when it matters most, I got this guy driving past me. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Where did this come from? So lo and behold, he's driving away off into the sunset, and I'm just not having it. I was not happy. I wasn't I just didn't want to finish second. So I drove as hard as I could. I don't know if it mattered a whole lot, lap 10 to 30. It may not have mattered at all, but I was sideways coming off the corners. I was driving in deeper than the truck should have gone. And the truck wasn't happy with me. Let's put it that way. The engine wasn't happy. The gear, the transmission wasn't happy. The tires weren't happy. The truck really did not like me, but I was whipping it and making it go really, really hard. And by the end of the race, when I thought I had nothing left in the tank, everybody else started slowing down. They had nothing left in the tank either, which was kind of cool for me, right? Like, I think I have nothing for anybody, and they were driving just as hard as me. And, here they come, they're falling back, and the lappers are playing a factor for me now. The lap traffic was helping out. They were catching lap traffic, and the time they were taking to try to get around them allowed me to close in on them. And I was able to navigate the lap traffic a little better and get through them, and it closed up that gap. So, man, there was a lot going on in a short amount of time, and it was stressful. Drove really, really hard, but at the end of the day, it's definitely worth it. But I did not want to finish second.
That makes it even more rewarding when you achieve it like that. But I'm interested in, this was your first championship, of course, and a great personal achievement, but the fourth for ThorSport Racing. And ThorSport is kind of I don't know if throwback is even the right word, but all the way in Sandusky, Ohio, when most of the teams are based in the Charlotte area. And they're kind of old school in terms of the way this operation has come together. Still running, 4 teams, sometimes a little more when they have an extra truck and that type of thing. But tell me about what it means to you to be able to do this for Duke and Rhonda Thorson.
Well, ThorSport and everybody there is awesome. I love the race team, and I've been with them now since 2016, and over years, they've given me support and have been building me up as a driver. And it's just really nice to be able to take all that support, turn it around and say, thank you for these opportunities. I did my job for you. Here you go. So this is the first time. They've had 3 championships before this, but this is the first time they've got drivers and owners. And I know Duke really, really wanted the owners championship. It's eluded them for a while, and just so happy to deliver that, because I know it's very special for them. They've been in the sport for a long, long, long time. They're the longest tenured truck team. They've got some of the longest partners in the truck series and in NASCAR. And that's speaks to their character and who they are as a race team. So the fact that they've been around that long and they don't have the owners championship, well, now they do. It no longer is evading them. They've got it. It's theirs. And I don't know, I'm just a very small part of their long history, but it makes me feel good to know that I was able to do something for them for the first time.
And, it wasn't all that long ago. People forget that the shop practically burned down, and you guys were working on trucks and parking lots and relatives' garages and things like that just to keep the season going. You went through all that. That had to be just a crazy time when you think about now.
It really was. But here's the deal. The leadership that we have up there, it could have been a lot worse. It really could have been a lot worse. I mean, for the most part, the entire town of Sandusky, Ohio rallied behind us. And we were working in places we were working in people's garages at their houses. We were in parking lots. We were at local businesses. I mean, literally anybody that had some extra resources in Sandusky lent them to us. And it was really insane to watch, because I don't think there's any other town that would rally behind somebody like that. Being from Sandusky, Ohio, it creates this unique atmosphere and this unique culture around ThorSport. We had open house last time at Crafton won the championship, and it was incredible. The amount of people that show up and year over year support this race team because it's local. It's the Ohio team. It's the one team that's not, in that big, area where all the people are one big family. We're one big family up north, away from everything. So it's neat to see. It's a different culture for sure.
Well, let's look ahead right now. That's always, a what's next society. Are you all set for 2022?
Yeah, I believe so. I hope to be back at ThorSport Racing next year with the same crew. So long as Duke and Rhonda will have me, I want to be racing there. I love the race team. I love all the people. And, this is funny because this group of people that I have on my race team was put together pretty late, because we were kind of setting the rosters for some of the other teams first. And we always joke about we were the last team that was put in place, and we won the first race. And it's like, we got to do everything last minute now. So we love it. And I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. They've been so good to me, and I love the people I'm with. They're just all friends for life.
Kind of lost in the shuffle here coming down the stretch is all the manufacturers, including Toyota, have unveiled their new trucks for 2022. What do you look at when you see that truck and think about how it's going to make the racing better, and what kinds of changes are you looking forward to for next year? Because, man, they look a lot like the street versions now.
Yeah, they're sexy. I like them. they got all the right curves and all the right places, and I love it. I think the 2022 TRD Pro Tundra looks like something spectacular. I've told many people I want that truck, and I'm going to find a way to get one of those trucks, because I know it's not going to be easy to get your hands on one right away. I mean, I know that so many people that are trading stuff in, as soon as they can get one, they're trading stuff in to get it. So it's cool that there's so much support for that on the street side, because the race truck looks phenomenal. It mirrors that TRD Pro on the street really, really well. They did a phenomenal job. And I think that just drives interest, right? Like the fact that it resembles what you have on the street. I mean, that's old school NASCAR. What won on Sunday sold on Monday, right? So, it's cool to kind of get back to that culture, because that's what the sport was built on. And I want to feel a little bit of that. Sometimes I feel like I'm in the wrong generation. Well, I want to feel what that was like.
Let's finish with this, Ben. What's your off season look like? You going to do some extracurricular racing, or just take some time off, hang out with family? What's on your calendar?
I got a bajillion ideas going in my head right now.
That's a big number.
I'm not real sure at the moment, because I just got to start picking things and throwing them at the wall and say, we're going to do that. I've got I want to go take some celebratory kite surfing lessons, and maybe some snowboarding lessons. I've never done it because I've always been scared, I get hurt or something. But now I have an off season. I've got time to kind of go out and do that. I want to do it just as a celebration and just to try to do something new in life and enjoy it. I think that'd be really fun. Take some vacation time with the family. And I want to start researching different ways to get involved in some local racing, because I'm telling you what, 23 races on the truck series is great, but I could race every day, multiple times a day. That's just what I do. I love it. So I've got to do some research, and I want to start figuring out ways to get involved in the racing scene around me when I am home, because, oh gosh, I love it. And I want to be a part of it.
Fantastic. Well, Ben, congratulations on a really strong season, and you and Thor Sport Racing, and good luck in the off season and next year. Hopefully you'll learn a few new things you can tell us about later.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
That's Ben Rhodes.
Gamers, start your engines. Meet the next generation of racing wheels. The award-winning Logitech G design is re-engineered to dial into your game physics, delivering unprecedented realism. Feel every shift, drift, and hairpin turn like never before. Our latest innovation in force feedback technology connects directly to endgame simulation engines and physics to produce higher fidelity, real-time responses. Through design, engineering, and the love of driving games, Logitech G takes racing simulation to another level. Go to logitechg.com.
Time now for our iRacing update presented by Logitech G. Not only is William Byron a Cup Series playoff driver, he's also an iRacing team owner. And I had a chance to ask him about that this week, since one of his teams raced for the championship. Well, that's all the time we've got for this week's edition of MRN Out Loud, the season finale, and my final show. I'm wearing this particular shirt because when the show started back in 2011, it was called Motorsports Monday. Joey Meyer was my co-host. He was the spotter for Brad Keselowski, and now he flies airplanes for a living. Craig Moore was the producer, and he's still rocking along at the Motor Racing Network. And our current editor is Alexa Henry. And I want to thank all of them for their help along the way, and all the guests we've had as well, including in particular William Byron, our senior preview correspondent, who's been with us for much of the last 2 years, providing a sneak preview of the upcoming race each and every week. So until we see you again somewhere down the road, I'm Woody Cain saying thanks for joining us.